Do you have a fantastic app idea but you don't really know how to code? Well, maybe you don't have to anymore. I'm gonna show you in this video how to, without knowing how to code at all, build a pretty simple Flutter app only using AI, which in this case is ChatGPT. Let's turn around and get to it. Okay, so here we are with a default Flutter project. So a default Flutter project is what you start with. To create one, you just go to the command palette in VS Code or whatever IDE that you're using. I'm going to link some links down below on how to install Flutter, how to create a new Flutter project, etc. We're not going to go over all of those setup details, but it's quite simple. It's going to take you 5 minutes to install, 5 minutes to set up, so it's super simple. But when you create a new Flutter project, this is what you start with. So you have a lib folder, which is where you're going to be writing all of the Dart code. And then we're also going to have a, I'll make it a little bit larger like that. Then we're also going to have iOS, which we're not going to worry about, and Linux, Mac OS, etc. We're only going to worry about the lib folder. That's where we write Dart code. So this is what the boilerplate code that you start off with. What it is this counter app. So if you push this button, guess it should increment the counter. Maybe I've done something to it. Oh yeah, there we go. So if I push this button now, it will increment this counter. And that's just the basic functionality. Look through this code, see how it works. You can, for example, change some stuff, like if I press the button instead, I print and say pressed, like so. And then I increment the counter, for example. So if I now press it, it'll increment, but it'll also print pressed here. But we don't really need this boilerplate code, so we're gonna get rid of all of it. Then you're gonna open a window of some kind. We're going to be building quite a simple task app. So a task app that's black and white, super minimalistic, super simple, where we're going to be able to store some tasks, etc. So we're going to head over to ChatGPT. I'm using a model that is ChatGPT 4.0 because I think that's what most people have access to. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and prompt this. So I'm building a minimalistic white and black tasks app in Flutter. I want to store the data and use SQLite. I'm going to need tasks to have a title, a description, a status, and it's going to be true or false. That's called a boolean. A boolean value is either true or false, and a due date, like so. Write out the files that I need and show me the imports. So imports are things that you put inside of your Flutter code in the pubspec YAML. So here we can see that we have some dependencies. For example, we have Flutter, and that's one of the dependencies, but you'll see once we start adding stuff here, we're gonna have more dependencies. So first of all, it's saying that in the main.dart file, we're gonna copy this. So we're gonna head to the main.dart and we're gonna paste that there. Now it's telling us to use the home page, and we haven't imported the home page yet, so let's just leave that there. Then it's saying on the task, we're gonna have a file that's a task model. So we're gonna copy that, and what it says here, typically, and if it ends with Dart, that is a Dart file. So that is something which you need to add to your library. So we're gonna go task, see what it said. It said task model. So we're gonna rename this, and we're gonna go task model.dart. So Dart is the extension of the programming language that Flutter uses, and then we paste that there. Cool. Then it's saying that we're going to have task database.dart. So let's copy the code for the task database.dart. So task database.dart, and we paste that there. And we're getting some errors here. That's because this import is not working. But then we're just going to go through what it says. So task provider, copy. And then we're going to go another file that is task provider. Perfect, and that is done. We close that one and we save it. We head back to ChatGPT, and that is the home page. So for the home page, we're going to call it home page.dart, and we paste that, and we get a couple of errors. So as you can see, we're getting a few errors here, and one way to debug easily in Flutter if you don't know what this means is that you copy all the error messages. So we're going to say copy message, like so. And then we also had, I guess this one was not defined, like so. And then we say write commands to import these. And what it's going to do then, it's going to show us how to import these. So it's saying that we need to add SQFlight provider, and we need to add the path. So one way to do it is to copy this, and we go to terminal and we say flutter add, like so. And then it's going to add that dependency. And what it does then is that in the pubspec YAML, it adds this latest dependency. You can also copy this from ChatGPT, like this, straight off, and paste it there, like so. But it's better that you do it from the terminal, because as you can see, this is 2.4. ChatGPT tells you to add 2.2. So it's better to add all of these individually from the terminal, because then you'll get the latest version. We add the provider, and then we take the last one, which is path. So these are all dependencies, packages that you download from line that are open source that you can use for free inside of your project. And then we add the path as well there. Perfect. And then what we can do is we can close the pubspec YAML, and we can go to, for example, main.dart, and we can press this little bubble, and we can press import library. We can go to home page. We can see what we're missing here. This copy with. We can go to task database. We can highlight this and import SQFlight. So there's two here, and I guess we have to be specific to check which one is telling us to. So it's the SQFlight, not the SQFlight API. So we import that one, and you can see the error there disappears. Now we can say, to explain what we're getting wrong here, so anything that's highlighted with red and that shows red here, it's a fatal error, which means that the app won't build with this error. So we can copy the entire home page, and we say, paste it. For this, I get error, and then we copy the error message. So you can find the errors here in problems, which is undefined name class, like so. Boom. And then we'll let it know that we're having problems with that one. Cool. The task. So it's telling us to redo the task model. So we're gonna redo that, and as you can see, it's added this copy with. So if we then press this run or rebuild the app, we're gonna rebuild the entire page here. So now we can see we have tasks, but we're getting a small error here, which is saying that unhandled exception, bad state. Database factory is not initialized. Database factory is only initialized when using SQFlight. When using SQFlight common FFI, you must call database. So we're gonna say, I get this error. Let me say, I now get this error. I am on mobile. So it's saying that this is an underlying library. So we need to do this because we're emulating mobile environments during development. So to fix this, we're going to need to initialize the database. So check database initialization. If you're on mobile, you need to do it's done correctly in the init method in the database. Okay. And we're going to say task database. So we're going to copy that part. Task database, go back to that one. and it's doing everything from above create DB. So we take that same part and we paste it. And now the instance is undefined, it's saying. Like so. I pasted one or copied one thing too many. Okay, still get the error. So now we're gonna say I am on a Xcode emulator. What do I need? So it's saying that it's about how the package is initialized, and then it's going to give us some more details on how to do this. It's going to redo this a little bit. So it's saying we need to, like so. Okay, so we're going to try one more time. And we're going to redo. So it's saying to do this now. So we're still getting the error, and this will happen. So we're gonna clean the Flutter directory, like so. And that's just a pretty simple way to rebuild all of the dependencies. And then it's running the pod install, and it's building the Xcode project again. And then it's even helping you saying, like, if the issue persists, let me know where the exact code where the task database is being accessed, and we can pinpoint the issue further. Damn, very nice. So now it's rebuilding the app here. Xcode built done, and now it's rebuilding the app, like so. And we're gonna see if we're getting it to work. Cool, seems like we're not really having any issues. We're gonna press the plus. So we are hot restart. Cool, okay, so now we're not really getting any errors anymore. So what we're gonna do is on the home page, we're gonna add some functionality for the floating action button. So now, nice. Now, make the show a dialog that adds a task. Also, we're gonna ask it to rewrite the whole home page and make it more dark. The main, so that the dark with so then we prompt it to, first of all, rewrite this whole file, so that when this floating action button, which is this one, as we can see now we have an icon, we can take minimize, for instance, and we do a hot reload. Let's see there. We're gonna actually rebuild the app using, because it's easier to, you can use the command shortcuts there, but it's easier to use this. So run without debugging, like that one. And then we're gonna see here what it says. So first of all, it's asking us to redo the main like that, and then it's currently on the way writing the home page one more time to fix this. So we're gonna wait for this to build on the device again. Now, hopefully without any of these errors. Like that. Perfect. And we're gonna take the main, and we're gonna copy that, and we're gonna paste that where it says main. like so. And then we're gonna, you can typically press this one. And you can, this little light that comes up, and you can use that to add and remove stuff automatically. Then for the home page, we're gonna copy that code. We're gonna go back and we're gonna paste that whole home page, and we're gonna rebuild. So now it's a lot darker, as you can see. We're gonna press plus, task title, test task, do home work, add. So now that's added to the list of tasks. So we're gonna say cool. However, make the modal show from the screen. Add a date picker and add to swipe to delete the task, or the ability to swipe the other way and complete the task. Make the task tile show the date and the description. So now we're querying this to redo this whole homepage to show a sheet that shows up here. And let's see how we're doing in terms of this. So as you can see, it's not super different, but we're gonna center it a little bit. So after we've done this one, now that we're checking that all this works, we're gonna try it one more time and see what it looks like. So as you can see, if we refresh the app now, this is permanent, meaning that once we've added this, it's inside of the app. It won't be removed. Sometimes if you store stuff just within the state of the app, then it's not stored in the app. Now this is stored in an SQL database inside of the app locally. So if you leave the app, if you turn it off, etc., this data will still be stored there. So we're asking it to redo here. So it's currently underway rewriting the homepage. But as you can see, you can get quite some cool and good looking UI apps built just using ChatGPT. So it's relatively simple. We're gonna see now if we can finish this up with some nicer ways to add the tasks and to finish them. Cool. Like so. Let's redo. So it's saying when it's due, we can add a pop-up. And then we're gonna say rewrite the modal. So we're gonna copy this part. Rewrite, because this doesn't really look that nice, right? We want to have remove the gray part like this. Just bottom sheet to remove the also make it more minimalistic. Now, and here's a cool thing which you can do. You can actually take a screenshot of this, like so. And we can add it there. We can say, make the UI as similar as possible to the screenshot. Like that. So what we're doing now is we're asking ChatGPT to make the UI inside of this app as similar as possible to this one. So ChatGPT quit unexpectedly. Let's reopen that bad boy. And I guess we'll still have it in our conversation history. Cool. And we're gonna do it again. So screenshot above, like that. Okay, so ChatGPT is saying that the screenshot is not available. This is not a problem with Flutter or ChatGPT. This is just the software ChatGPT is built on. And we're gonna copy this again. So what's pretty cool is that you can go to websites like the one that I'm on the other page, which is called Dribbble. I'll show you that in a second once I see that it's going. Cool, like this, Dribbble. And on Dribble, you can find a lot of UI design inspiration. So you can say minimal task app, for example. And it's going to give you a lot of designs on these minimal task apps. And you can open them. And what's pretty cool is you can take these pictures and you can feed them to ChatGPT. And you can ask ChatGPT to mimic to the greatest extent possible the UI that you see in here. So for instance, now that we're updating this, it's actually working off this UI to make this look better. And it's stuck writing it. But we kind of wanted to write the whole app. So what we can do is we can say, boom, write the whole home page with these instructions. And now this is where AI works super well in most of the cases. However, UI is where it seems to have a little bit of trouble at the moment. So some of these things you can change yourself. So for example, if you go into Dart here, you're obviously able to change some of the themes, for example. But if we go to the floating action button, that's currently that size. So we have, for example, a background color that is white and a foreground color is black. Say we wanted this to be purple, for instance, then we obviously change that to purple and we rebuild that. So we can see that, and we can do maybe blue. Obviously this will look ugly, I'm just showing you. So if you have some experimentation that you want to do in regards to this, it's quite simple in Flutter and quite intuitive on how to go about doing this. So we're on the progress of rewriting the whole homepage. So I encourage you, if you're actually interested in this type of stuff and want to learn coding, this is a great way to start with it. But I encourage you to go around and test some of these. What happens if I change this? What happens if I change that? Etc. It's quite fun, and it's quite you learn quite a lot doing it. So let's go back, still writing. So as you can see, it can write quite a bit of code, and it's quite impressive that all of this code it writes sticks together and works. Before, on the older versions of ChatGPT, if you asked it to write long files of code, it wouldn't really work. They wouldn't be coherent and they wouldn't be really working. So here, for example, here it's using an old version of the elevated button. And for most of these, if I highlight this and I press this little one, we can say migrate elevated button to style from, like so. And then we do the same for primary, like so. If we now rebuild, you can see we have a little bit more of a minimalistic view here. So plus, you can see task title, testing 2, and we can say bring food. And now we press this and we get this nice little data dialog, and we say okay, then we say add task, and we see that gets added to this. However, I guess that's quite nice. So you can swipe like that. Okay, now we're gonna say then, because now what we can see is that this bar isn't working. If I complete this task, that doesn't really work. So we're gonna need to redo this in a way that, that it doesn't break. So first of all, nice, but make the task tile take the entire width of the screen. As you can see now, it's this little weird square. Make the progress bar actual. Remove the task and only allow for deletion. So now we're doing some final adjustments here. Based on what's displayed. And for deletion, bring back the checkbox on the task. And then when I finish this, write in full. So, like that. And now we're just gonna wait for this to write out, but as we can see, it's added some buttons here. They don't really do anything. I mean, you can add functionality too if you want. For the final app here, we're saying work. I'm not sure, maybe we should just call this tasks. So that is one thing that you can easily change, and you can hot reload like that, and it'll change to tasks. Also, we have this little debug banner here. We can go to the inside of the material app, which we will find somewhere here. There it is. And we can say show debug false. And if we do that and we hot reload, we remove that banner. Now it looks a little bit more professional. So now it's just a case of waiting for ChatGPT to write this out. And we're gonna see if deletion works. Yeah, deletion of a task works nicely, like so. And then it even tells us no tasks available, add one. That's pretty cool. That is super simple actually. Cool. Yeah, we're just waiting for this to write out. And now I think after this actually we're gonna be pretty done. It's gonna have a good looking UI. It's gonna be quite easy to add and remove tasks. We're gonna be able to dismiss them. We're gonna be able to complete them. So we're pretty good. Let's just wait for it to. So that's one of the things with ChatGPT 4.0. If you're using the latest one, ChatGPT 4.01 preview, I think it's called, it's actually super fast. So this one has to do some reasoning, and it's pretty good at the reasoning, but it does take some time for it to do it. So that is the only con. However, super fast compared to if you were writing or I was writing all of this by myself. So copy, and we're gonna paste that there. Whoops, not in the main. We're gonna paste it in the home page. And we're gonna do the same thing again, but we're gonna migrate these. And we're gonna change this from work to tasks. I think it saw that we had work here, so that's why I based that on. And then we're gonna do rebuild. So now, none of the tasks are done. We're gonna try adding a task, and we're gonna say bring computer, bring laptop class, 23rd, add task. Boom, and as you can see, this is now added. It's not the prettiest, but it works. So we can go ahead and we can add another one. We can say bring food to class, select due date, add task. So we can say bring task, test, and we're gonna select the due date, okay, like so. I'm not sure, I think it's because I forgot to add the select due date. You can add some error builders and stuff like that, but we're gonna say pizza day, and we're gonna say in office, and we're gonna say due date on the 30th, add task. And as you can see, all of these tasks start getting added, and as I check them, this progress bar will show how far I've gone. I can delete them by swiping on them, like so, and then it will redo the calculation. I can do that, and I can delete one, and it'll redo the calculation as I press. So pretty cool. That's gonna be it. So it's super simple, as you see. I'm not sure how long this video took. 30 minutes tops. And we built an entire tasks app that's local, but it still works perfectly. If I refresh the app, all of that data is stored. So there's nothing that needs to be fetched, and it's nothing that disappears as soon as I built the app. And this was all built using ChatGPT, as you saw. I did pretty much no coding. I changed some strings here and there. I did some importing, but I didn't really do any of the coding. So this is a super good way currently in 2024, 2025 to build simple apps. Currently, can't really build the more complex apps. If you need that still, then I'm your go-to guy. You can check out all my links down below. But if you want to build a simple app like this for your community or for yourself, for your family, for an event or whatever, try this out. It's super simple and a lot of fun. That's gonna be it for this video. If there's more that you want to see and you want to see me build more of these types of things, then feel free to let me know down below. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.